Coming up on the Football Today podcast, we take a look to FA Cup Round 4 action, which takes centre stage in England this week. We wrap up the Carabao Cup as the two games were finished up this morning. A big final between Chelsea and Liverpool coming up. A very interesting yeah-nah kicks off the show. Is anything happening in the transfer world? Not really, but there's a lot happening here on Football Today, and it starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Football Today podcast. It is Thursday, the 25th of January. I am your host, Alex Donnelly. As always, I'm going to be joined by the stats guy on the far right, Liam McAllion. Well, he's on my far right. If you're watching, he's on the left. And in the middle, we've got Marcus, and I pronounce his name wrong, so it's Marcus Bontempelli this week. How are you, Marcus?
I'm great. You know, Chelsea 4 wins from the last 5.
Yeah.
12 points. More than any other team in the league.
That's why we're repping the Chelsea stuff today. We're actually winning some games. We're pretty happy this week.
I don't even need to ask how they're going. They're actually happy. It's been a rare change from the office when they droop in on a Monday. But, oh, not again. This is horrendous. But in fairness, I've been used to it all year round because even though this isn't the AFL show, their AFL teams haven't been great for the last forever.
Yes.
Anyway, on the show today, we're going to have a look at the Carabao Cup games that got wrapped up this morning. Of course, Fulham and Liverpool and Chelsea and Middlesbrough played on a Wednesday. We'll have a chat about AFCON because there's something funny that happened there. We'll go through our big call and Doomsdays for the weekend, as well as have a look at FA Cup Round 4 because, of course, no EPL action. In the second half of the show, Leo with the transfer market. He won't do the transfer market. He'll actually ask us a trivia question before we get into the transfer market. He actually can. He's feeling really perky today, Leo. We'll talk about the Aussies in action and Graham Arnold's horrendous tactics and then whatever else comes along our way. But we always start off the Football Today podcast with a yeah-nah. Marcus is leading us off today.
Oh, well, do you think Chelsea winning the Carabao Cup, but let's say they finished 10th,
Yep.
do you think that's a successful season?
So is the
First season under
yeah-nah,
Poch?
if you win the Carabao Cup and finish 10th, is it successful?
Yeah,
Yes.
so we're obviously in the final, made the final, so we've obviously got a chance. It's going to be tough against Liverpool. But then if we do finish 10th as well, it's a bit of a tough one.
But say if we win it, we win the Carabao Cup final.
Is it successful?
Yep.
Nah, no one gives a crap about the Carabao Cup. If it was the FA Cup, I'd say yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the prestige of the FA Cup compared to the Carabao Cup. Also, if you win the FA Cup, you've got the Community Shield the following year. And if you win the Carabao Cup, it seems, unless you're in the top 5 of the English Premier League, it seems a pain in the ass because you get a Europa League conference playoff spot, which means you have to go in the middle of nowhere 2 weeks before the season starts to play in said playoff.
Yeah, and then to play in the Conference League ahead of all the European leagues.
I'm going nah.
You're going, no. I'll say no as well, but a bit more tentative. I think Carabao Cup, if we win the Carabao Cup, at least we'll have something to cheer about as a Chelsea fan. I'd be happy with that. But just in my lifetime, how successful Chelsea has been, finishing 10th is horrible. Like, that is probably one of the worst finishes we've had in my lifetime. So I would say it's still definitely not a successful season. I'll be very happy to win the Carabao Cup just to get something to cheer.
Better than last year.
Better than last year as well. But finishing 10th, I think I've got to count that as a fail. Just the amount of money we've spent as well. We've talked about that before. £1 billion pounds, which is it's a fair bit of money. So I'm going to say that big nah on that one. But what are you leaning towards, Marcus?
I'm sort of, it's hard because I'm on the fence, but I'd slightly go no, but then also yes at the same time because it's important to get off the Todd Bowley era, just get off the mark, get a trophy.
I feel
that's
like
true.
In Poch's first season.
I feel like for a different club, you're a Big Six club.
Yeah.
I think outside of the Big Six, I think if it was someone like Newcastle, if they won the Carabao Cup this season compared to how their season's going, I think it would be a success because they won a trophy. Team like, Brighton, West Ham, I think, well, even though they won the Conference League last year, but I feel like for them, it's better because they're obviously not going to be challenging for a lot of trophies. And that, just before we move on, we're talking about spending $1 billion in the transfer market. There was an interesting article that I read this morning talking about January transfer expenditure. The stats say for every £30 million spent by a club, the points differential, like you're actually not winning as much as you are. Like you're getting 0.3 points a game, but now it's like 0.2. So Chelsea last year, for all the money they spent, you got less points per game in that second half of the season than you did in the first half of the year after splashing all that cash in January.
Which is a big worry.
At the same time, I think that's a bit misleading because we spent $1 billion, but
that's overall. But it's
like
also
700 million of that money, players haven't even made their debut for Chelsea.
Yeah, because of injuries.
I'm talking January specifically last year.
Yeah.
That money you spent, I think it was like 400 and something million. You actually were worse after January than you were leading up to it.
Yeah, it's a big worry, but hopefully we're pushing in the right direction over the last couple of weeks. It has looked like that.
This wasn't me ragging on Chelsea. That was just a little stats and figures. And let's talk about the positive. You whipped Middlesbrough 6-1 yesterday.
Thank God. What was it? 1-1 in the first leg. 1-0 we lost in the first leg, which I was so surprised about. They come to Stamford Bridge 6-1 in the end. So thank God we got a big win. And Middlesbrough did a great job to make it to the semis of the Carabao Cup. Obviously, that's an awesome effort. But yeah, I think Chelsea are looking really good the last couple of weeks at least. And that sort of big win gives some players some confidence, knowing that we're on the right, tracking in the right direction. Yeah.
Yeah, the Middlesbrough were just horrible that game. But like they have a lot of injury concerns as well, Middlesbrough. So, but Chelsea booked their spot in Wembley.
Wembley. Speaking of who's going to meet you there, Fulham and Liverpool played out a 1-1 draw this morning, but it means Liverpool travel to Wembley to, let's be honest, the way the teams are going at the moment, they're probably going to beat you.
Yeah, well, I think this is the exact same final 2 seasons ago, I believe. I think this is when Kepa missed that penalty. The penalties went to 10-11, I think, and Liverpool ended up winning. So hopefully Chelsea can enact some revenge against Liverpool.
Yeah, that'd be nice at Wembley. Wembley. I don't know what accent that is, but
I just wanted to touch on AFCON because we touched on the Asian Cup on our Monday show. We did it on Monday. AFCON. Anana was dropped in a game that Cameroon needed to win.
That's crazy.
Cameroon won after he was dropped after not making any saves. In their second game, was the first he played because, of course, he missed the first game due to the private flight being delayed because he decided to stay in England and try and help Manchester United win, and they didn't. It's just gone horribly for this bloke this year, hasn't it?
I do feel for him a little bit. I know that the stats don't help him, that he hasn't been very good. Obviously, he hasn't been very good.
51 goals in 34 games.
That's obviously really bad. I think he's just in his own head now that he's lost all his confidence. I don't think he's that bad of a keeper. Who was he playing before? He was
at
Ajax. Ajax, that's right. Yeah.
Inter?
No. That's
what am I smoking?
No, he was Ajax and he was killing it. I think he's still a world-class keeper. He's just lost all his confidence. The fact that the Man United keeper isn't even playing for his country is unbelievable, and they did win, so he might not even get picked in the next game.
He was at Inter Milan last season. He went to Inter on a free. Yeah, Ajax to Inter. We got it right. We got there. Teamwork, synergy, corporate words.
I think did he just drop him maybe because, he chose Manchester United over his country?
I think they dropped him because he played horrendously.
It's a bit of a tough one. And
we could talk about Mo Salah with the injury and leaving and the Egypt FA not being happy, but that's a whole gambit of things we could talk about because AFCON is crazy.
Oh, yeah, it's nuts. I think, what was it, 4 games this morning and it was 3 of them were 0-0.
What about the guy that's never played really professionally, he was played in the 5th league in England. I forgot which country it was. Was it Ghana? I can't remember now, but he played in the AFCON and his first ever match, he got too tired because he's never played in that heat. So he was off he started his first ever professional game.
He was off in the 20th minute.
In the 30th minute, that's taking him
fantastic.
off. And he was playing in the 5th tier in England and he's jumped on and everyone's like, I don't care, he's a legend. He's come from the 5th tier.
This is like random dudes going to the Olympics and just trying.
That guy's probably like a plumber or something. He's a tradie or he could be anything. So
the best part for me was one of the coaches got sacked after they lost 4-0 to Guinea or something. But there's a chance they can still make the round of 16.
The Ivory Coast manager, the host,
and it's just
host of the tournament.
You got sacked, but you could still make the round of 16.
They did end up making the round of 16.
Here it is. Taron Alakaria, English 5th tier, Wildstone. I don't know if you guys remember the Wildstone Raider with the guy that made all that money off that song. That Wildstone, which is the English 5th tier, he started his first ever proper professional game in AFCON. That's unbelievable.
You're right. We salute you, sir.
And I don't think he'll be playing anymore because he looked very tired.
I think the Ivory Coast played Senegal, defending champions, in that round of 16.
Senegal's
I love Senegal to win that one.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough. Scallywagon talking junk. Let's get to our big calls of the weekend before we start to preview the FA Cup round 4 because, of course, this weekend, all FA Cup, EPL midweek round next week. So next Tuesday show will be a preview of match week 22. Then we'll do another show on the following Thursday, which will wrap up what's gone on so far and then look ahead to that weekend. So no usual wrap-up show next week. It's all previews, baby. My big call. Wrexham beat Blackburn in the FA Cup this week. Blackburn aren't in good form, and Wrexham, I know they lost to Newport County last week.
They're cup specialists.
They are flying. They're in second in League 2 at the moment and looking the goods for back-to-back promotions.
Ooh, that's a big call. I don't mind that, though, because, Wrexham, they know how to score goals. So.
Blackburn are down the bottom of the championship, so...
I'm going to go Bristol City to knock out Notts. They just knocked out West Ham after I talked up West Ham in the last couple of weeks.
I need my buttons back, Gerald.
Some boo buttons?
Yeah, just boo!
You do, Alex does have a soft spot for Notts, but they've been in shocking form. Bristol City, yeah, they got a draw and then a win against West Ham. I think they've looked really good, and I just don't know if I trust Notts at the moment. They've just gone down and down.
Mate, they weren't bad on the weekend.
They lost
3-2.
I know they lost. They don't know how to set up a wall for starters. So if they
I don't think anyone from Bristol City is going to score like Ivan Toney.
I don't know. I actually don't mind Bristol City, and I'm on their bandwagon in this FA Cup for a good run. So that's my big call.
Oh, my big call is Sheffield United to knock out Brighton in the FA Cup.
Really?
Yep.
This is wild.
Yeah, because Brighton haven't been good, have they? They've won one of their last 5, I think, or something like that.
Nil all draw to Wolves is pretty pathetic.
And also, Wolves are playing well, but also Sheffield United are showing something at the moment. So that one I like more than yours.
Okay, that's fine. That's why it's called a big call.
Yeah, exactly. With that being said, we go from big calls into the doomsday scenario, which is something that clubs, teams, personnel do not want to happen to them. Mine is any one of these, Liverpool, Manchester City, or Manchester United cop replays. Liverpool, because it adds a game to their hectic schedule. They've got a very injury-riddled squad at the moment. Manchester City, just another game to their schedule as well, and it's another game against Tottenham, which isn't great. And Manchester United, who are they playing? Someone like
Newport, I think.
Newport. Is it Newport County?
They'll smash them.
They're down the bottom of League 2, so I don't think that'd be great. That place will be rocking because it's a Newport County home game. So if they can snatch a draw, they also get more money by getting the replay as well. Newport. So let's go Newport or draw. But that is a doomsday because Eric Ten Hag will be under more pressure.
Or you'd probably rather play at Old Trafford than at Newport.
Oh, because you can stroll in and
get more money.
3-0.
You get more money.
Yeah.
Like it's so much. It means so much money for them to play at like a big stadium like that.
Yeah, but for them, if they get to welcome them, they get the TV revenue as well. So regardless, it's all good for Newport County. Good luck to them.
Yeah, I hope they can somehow get a point. My doomsday, I really feel for Everton at the moment. Obviously, already had a 10-point deduction for FFP. They're supposedly getting another deduction. If they get knocked out by Luton this week, I think their fans, all the Toffees fans, will just be even more depressed. So I think that's the doomsday scenario. If they get knocked out of this, then they literally got nothing to cheer about. They've got no cups. They've got probably going to get relegated if they get another points deduction. So doomsday scenario is just everything going bad for the Toffees.
And I've got Fulham to kick Newcastle out of the FA Cup. So that'll be Newcastle already 10th below Chelsea now. And that Eddie Howe pressure is going to get heaped on him.
And it's not like it's not a big call, but it is a doomsday that Newcastle are out rather than Fulham's going to pull an upset. It'll be
it's more what this means for Eddie Howe and Newcastle.
Yeah, definitely.
Than it does. Yeah.
Jose Mourinho. All right, let's get to previewing these games. We've got a bunch to preview. We're not going to preview all of them because some of them, let's be honest, they're League 1, League 2 teams that we don't know enough about, that we can't sort of give a bit of a shout about. Like we'll talk about Blackburn and Wrexham just because we've all watched Welcome to Wrexham and it was fun. But we'll start off with Chelsea and Aston Villa. Obviously, you two boys being Chelsea fans. This will be a great game. This is Saturday morning, 6:45 a.m. Giving the Villains a chance here. Just they've been playing so well. I know away from home they're a bit dicey, but just give them a chance because they've at least had the break this week. You had to go all out to win that game in the Carabao Cup. So I give Aston Villa a really good shot here.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would be surprised if we got away with this. I think it could be a replay.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
But I'll be tuning this game at the airport. So
where are you going?
Cairns.
Nice.
Wait, who approved his holidays? Wait, protest? You're going on holiday.
I won't be here for the next show, so
good. Leo, you're in next week, mate. Stats go, your team, Chelsea.
I'll lean towards what Marcus is saying. I think this is really even. The way Chelsea's playing, a bit more confidence, a bit more flair. Villa, obviously, really good. If this was at Villa Park, I'd be tipping Villa every day of the week. Because it's at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's been really, really good there the last couple of months. So I'm going to go draw, probably a 1 or 2-all. I think it's going to be really exciting. But then we're going to have a replay. Obviously, go back to Villa Park, and I think we might lose that one. So I'm hoping a 2-1 Chelsea win as a fan, but I think it's going to be like a 1-all draw.
Yep. Next game, big one, probably the biggest of the weekend. Tottenham take on Manchester City. This is at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Dear God, get a name for that stadium, please.
I know.
Tottenham have an insanely good record against Manchester City at home.
Yeah. Yep.
For that reason alone, and because Arsenal are in the cup, I don't give a crap. Let's go, Ange. Tottenham to get the job done against Manchester City at home.
So you're backing your North London rivals?
Well, it's the FA Cup that we're not in it. See, I want Tottenham to play more games. Like, my dream result here is infinite draws between Tottenham and City. There's just replay after replay. I know I could only get one more. So Manchester City not being able to win the treble again would be great, and Tottenham playing extra games and potentially getting more injuries, also great for me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna back a draw here.
What a
Fine
surprise.
with me.
This is back to the old show days, and Marcus loves a draw.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, why not? I'll go Tottenham as well. Richarlison, awesome form. You're right. Pep has said this in interviews. He says, I don't know what to do when we
It's
get
literally
to Tottenham.
100 yards of grass, Pep. You
I know.
can do it anywhere in the world, but not Tottenham. Seriously?
And maybe a rainy Tuesday night at Stoke. I don't know if Man City have played Stoke
Probably
in a
won
while.
7-0.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I'll go Tottenham as well. I think
Yeah.
at home, why not?
Bristol City take on Notts Forest. Let's be honest, if Notts Forest play to the level they played last week against Brentford, they'll get the job done here. I know
Probably.
Bristol City have been having that dream run, knocking out West Ham. At home, you give Bristol City a chance to sneak a draw and then get a replay, but that's about as close as I think it can get.
I think Bristol will win this outright.
Oh, bang.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Bristol City this one.
Yep.
That was my big call of the weekend. I'm going to go Bristol City as well. I forgot what their logo is. It the I can't remember. Some bird.
Great podcast.
I was going to say what their mascot is, the Bristol City something, but I can't remember what it is.
Sheffield United and Brighton. This is a Sheffield United home game. I'm going the draw in this as well because the Blades of Sheffield United, they can put up a strong
Blades.
defence at home and get a replay.
Yeah, I'll back a draw as well, Alex. I'll go with you.
Oh, that's pretty boring. I'm going to go Brighton. I cannot trust Sheffield. I know Brighton have been pretty average, but they're going to get the job done.
Breaking news, Stats Guy can't trust the team that's last in the EPL.
Well, you guys have trusted
Come back for more at 6 p.m. Fulham and Newcastle. This one is at Craven Cottage. Hopefully they don't do the same thing with the flags this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Look it on social media. That was bad.
Yeah, you were telling me
wondering,
about that.
If Tony Khan's AEW ex-merchandise person was doing the Fulham stuff. Nudge, nudge.
Looked a little bit like a famous
no,
racist group.
Infamous.
No, we're not talking about that. Anyway, this game is not going to happen because we're just going to delete it out of our memory. Newcastle should win, but my God, their injury list at the moment.
That
is
sounded
not
really
great.
Simpson. My God, you're greasy. That's what he sounded like.
Tony Khan is greasy. Yeah, I think Newcastle should win, but no of any three results would shock me.
Draw again.
Oh my God,
damn
you
it.
had 4 draws? You should put this in
It's
a
going to
multi.
be a
That'll be paying a
full
lot.
match of replays.
Jeez.
4 round of replays.
We're going to have a lot of game. Marcus is just here for the money for all the replays. He works for the FA Cup. I'm going to go Newcastle. I think they were really solid against Man City. Pretty stiff not to get a draw, that 3-2 loss last week. So if they can play like that, I think they're going to absolutely smash Fulham.
Yeah, West Bromwich Albion struggling at the moment in the lower leagues, take on Wolves. Wolves should be winning this one.
Are you going to go
I
draw?
agree. No, I'm going to go Wolves.
Hey, he's tipped
Wolves
someone.
here, they should win this.
Nice. You got to go Wolves. Yeah, they've actually been really solid in the Premier League.
Yeah. Liverpool, they are in great form at the moment. I know they drew this morning, but in the back of their minds, they knew that they had this. They knew a draw was going to get them through. I think they just waltz through Norwich, get the job done quite easily. They can play their third grade team. No offense to Norwich.
Yep, I agree. Liverpool walk through this.
Yep.
Yeah, Liverpool, Womping, Jota, hat-trick.
Everton and Luton. So this is a big game, obviously. Bit of pride, bit of prize money.
Yeah.
This is at Goodison. I've got to lean to a draw just because I think Luton are up and about at the moment, but Everton are lacking a killer punch. Maybe this is the time Calvert-Lewin actually scores a couple of goals, but
He's been crap, yeah.
Well, not been crap. He just hasn't. They haven't found the target. He's had a lot of
True.
chances.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Once he gets one in the back of the net, he'll score 4 or 5 quickly.
Yeah, I'm going to go Everton here, actually. I think, Goodison Park. It's a good place to go to, especially if they'll get rolled up.
Yeah.
The crowd there. It's a tough place to play, so Everton for me.
Yeah, I'll lean towards Everton. I said the Doomsday was Everton losing. I think that's the worst scenario, but I think they should win it at home.
Yeah. Newport County take on Manchester United. First ever competitive meeting.
Wow.
Newport County are down near the bottom of League 2 at the moment. Manchester United should waltz through and get the job done here, but this time last year, our very own stats guy declared Tottenham as absolute certainties against Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday beat Tottenham.
What's the Sheffield? I can't remember. Yeah, I was calling them plumbers. And
You absolutely ragged on the legends from Sheffield Wednesday.
Well, I love
and
underdogs.
they rolled Tottenham. You absolute tough dork.
No, you got to back the big teams. I think if Man U don't win this, that'll be the biggest upset for years. So I think
Literally since last year when Sheffield Wednesday.
No, I think the Sheffield Wednesday were in a higher comp.
They're
than
in
Newport.
League 1.
Yeah, the higher comp. So that's what I'm saying. It's a lower comp even more. So Man U will absolutely waltz through them.
Yeah, I'm going to go Man U here, as much as I'd love to see an upset.
Can't Newport. And the final game, Blackburn versus Wrexham. Obviously, we don't know a hell of a lot about both teams given Championship League 2. But Wrexham, they're up and about at the moment, and also because I think it'd just be great content for Welcome to Wrexham, and one day we could get Rob McAllion on this show. We won't get Ryan Reynolds, we'll get the other guy on the show. Let's go Wrexham.
Let's get both. I'm going to go Blackburn. I think they play a bit too attacking Wrexham. It could be like they love a good 4-3 sort of
it's
game.
It's like 7-5, it'd be sick.
It'll be cool, and I think it'll be a really good game to watch in this FA Cup round, but I reckon Blackburn at home.
Yeah, I think if it was at Wrexham, I'd give him a chance, but I'm going to go Blackburn here.
Yep.
All right. I like it. Cool. All right, we've raced through the FA Cup there, so we're going to go to an ad break. Stats Guy's going to talk about cricket today. Of course, the test is ongoing right now. Make sure you check out Cricket Today throughout the summer. It's nearly over, but Australia has got a lot of cricket coming up, so the boys will be doing a lot of content over the coming weeks, but you'll hear about it right now.
Lock in for a huge summer of slog sixes, rattle bails, and classic snags with the daily Cricket Today podcast. Keep up to date with all things BBL, BBL Supercoach, tests, ODIs, and T20s this summer, as well as the highlights and socials all season long. Search Cricket Today on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
All right, welcome back to the Football Today show, second half of the show. As always, as we kick off the second half of the show, we bring in social guy Leo for the trivia question. Scoreboard's popping up here right now.
Not very good.
Somehow, Stats Guy is half a point in front of us.
Come on, I've been good last couple of weeks.
No, you haven't. Let's go, Leo.
All right, boys. Well, there's 4 points on offer here, so hopefully you can shoot back up the rankings.
Skip ahead to a good lead. This will be an unassailable lead.
This might win it.
Yeah.
I can't even think of 4 players sometimes.
Yeah.
There are 4 players leading top scorer in the Champions League this season. I'll give you a point for each one. Come on, boys.
Leading.
Mbappe?
Yeah, okay. We all get 4 answers, so yeah, okay.
Jeez, I'm not going to get this.
Christ.
We might have to think about it and cut it.
Yeah. Huh?
Just think obvious.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah, they're obvious players.
Yeah,
man.
all right. I'll have a crack first.
All right, I can't even think of 4 players.
Erling Haaland, Mbappe, Gabriel Jesus, and crap, come back to me for the 4th one. I got 3.
I'll go.
You just typed.
No. I'm looking at the table.
You can't still look at the table.
I'm looking at the
That's
table.
cheating.
This season, I just wanted to see who I'm forgetting.
Geez, well, I'll go Mbappe. I don't know if Haaland's played enough. Did he play with the
I've
Champions
got my
League yet?
4th.
I've got
I'll
one.
go Haaland.
I got my 4th.
Same.
Bellingham
That's what I was going
and,
to say.
Yeah.
and Alexander Isak.
And Bellingham's my 4th, by
I'll
the way.
go, Bellingham, Haaland, Mbappe. They were my 3. I'm trying to think of another one. Osimhen didn't play a lot, did he?
No, he only came back late.
So it's not him.
He did score that couple of flips
And
over
Liverpool
his head.
didn't
It was
play.
sick.
Oh, I can't think of a 4th.
4, 3. 2.
Vinny Jr.
All right.
Okay, so the players were Haaland,
Good job, boys.
Yeah.
Morata,
We forgot about
Alvaro Morata.
Griezmann,
Oh,
Okay.
and Højlund.
of course.
Hoyland,
We
yes.
bagged Holland, but he's killing it in the championship.
Yes.
So we only got 1 each. That was pretty bad.
Should have got Hoyland.
Uh,
I'm disappointed with that.
Same. I think
they
we
finished last in their group.
we really should have got Holland. We've talked him up in
Yeah,
the
but
Champions
Hoyland was
League.
the.
I swear Jesus has as many goals as
He's got
Hoyland.
4.
Damn it.
So does Bellingham.
Stop banging the table, Alex.
Gerald, sorry.
Jumping.
All right, so the leaderboard still sucks.
It's
Stats
pretty much
Guy,
stays the same.
4, 3.5, 3.5.
I'm telling you, if Leo asked this question to us outside of the studio, we're on.
No, I reckon we still would have. We all still would have said
should've got
Mbappe. We would have all said Mbappe and Bellingham.
Probably.
I probably would have said.
Because he did score a winner, and then you just think Mbappe, but there was that game against Newcastle. He had 17 shots, and they all got
He
saved.
didn't even get one. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Oh, well,
and then he scored the penalty.
We're so bad at this.
Speaking of killing Mbappe, let's talk about the transfer window, because every season they talk about him going to Real Madrid. We haven't had that this January. It's been a nice change.
Yes.
There's not a lot happening, is there?
No.
There's
really,
going to be a day of madness like in next week.
Last day is always
Yeah,
pretty bad.
it'll be
I
crazy.
think there's only 34 million spent so far.
yeah,
in the Premier
compared to
League.
like 780
window?
last
34
year.
million.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's because everyone's worried about FFP, and again, like I said, that article I read this morning about it's actually hasn't been super beneficial unless you desperately need to plug a gap.
Yep.
Speaking of plugging a gap, Calvin Phillips is going to West Ham. That has been here we go by our man Fabrizio Romano. Good job for Calvin Phillips, because let's be honest, that poor bugger, I know he's had a lot of success winning trophies, but he's played no football for a season
Marcus
and a half.
predicted it on the last
I did.
show, the show
I did.
before, I think.
I was
yeah.
like Declan Rice replacement now that they lost him. Bit of a hole, but
James Ward-Prowse.
yeah.
yeah, but I wouldn't say he's a pure defensive midfielder. He's
The
more
way
creative.
West Ham play as well, 2 defensive midfielders in there probably work perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good for them. That'll actually help them charge towards potentially a lower league Europe spot again.
Yep. No, definitely.
No, I agree.
He's a jet.
Anthony Martial, it's not on the run sheet actually, but he's running his contract down. He just got injured.
Of course.
Well, no, I don't think. I think it might have been a pre-existing one. He's like, I'm going to get surgery now.
I think he's got 8 weeks with a groin injury.
10 weeks, and he gets paid about £4 million for the rest of the season.
Yeah, well,
dude's a genius.
Well, he's not willing that Ballon d'Or clause, is he? So
was that
that's a real clause.
That is a joke.
When he came across, it was the chat was it was the next big thing.
Yeah, and if he'd win a Ballon d'Or,
he's nowhere near that.
But he's something like 18 months away from getting a testimonial Manchester United match if he wanted it as well, because he's been there that long.
Surely no one's doing that for Martial.
No, there was like the guy that left last year, that defender who was on the squad list forever but hardly ever got a game. He could have
Johnny
had one.
Evans.
Yeah, and he rejected it as well. So he's just like, no.
To be fair, I feel like Martial would reject it as well.
Yeah.
He's not been a legend of the club.
I mean, he might want it. Kieran Trippier staying at Newcastle. Newcastle have rejected all the money moves from Bayern Munich. They offered 15 million and they still said no.
15 million is a bargain. I know he has.
It's not a bargain. It's they need the money.
No, I'm saying I know that they rejected it, but like. That is so cheap for. I still think he's one of the best fullbacks in the world. I know he's had a crap couple of months, but he's still an absolute jet.
He's 33 years old, 15 million with 18 months left on his contract.
He used to play at Atletico Madrid.
Atletico as well. He was a gunner.
Yeah, Simeone loved him over there.
This is Bayern Munich. Thomas Tuchel.
No, he also played. He won a league at
Atletico. That was his prime.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, left Tottenham. Harry Kane getting the boys back. You've written down Broja, West Ham. What's going on here?
I don't think it's going to happen, to be honest.
West Ham are the only team with money.
It's the only rumored team linked to Broja, but I honestly don't believe that'll happen.
I think he's an underrated player. I think he's a really good player. He was really good. Where did he come from? Not Southampton.
He was on loan at Southampton.
Yeah, and I watched. I think he had a 5-game stretch where he was scoring almost every game. I think he's a solid player. So West Ham or anyone would be lucky to have him.
And finally, Nottingham Forest doing what Notts Forest do, just going to big club, going, hey, can we have one of your players? They've gone to Dortmund and like, can we get Gio Reyna because we need a winger, seeing as Brennan Johnson left and we have no danger anymore.
Yeah, it'll be a good signing. He's only 21. He hasn't really done well at Dortmund, so he's got to revive his career somehow. But I'm not sure if Notts is the place to do it, to be honest.
No, it is a weird one
But it's for 6 months. It's for the rest of the season. No, there could be an obligation to buy, but it's just a straight up loan.
He's probably just trying to get some game time in, I'm guessing. Yeah. So he'll be happy that he's on the pitch and playing some consistent football.
He looks like he'll have the choice between Notts and Marseille.
I'm going to France.
Yeah, probably.
Marseille's a very nice place as well. Better than Nottingham.
Yeah. Je suis status guy. Je prends croissant.
Oh, there's Duolingo over here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He was wearing the PSG top, so he's been there. He's been there, obviously.
Hey, I'm trying to get this Olympics junket. I'm Duolingoing. Every day, Duolipa, as we call it in the office. Anyway, that's enough transfer market. Not enough's happening. Probably next week we'll have a bunch of news because the weekend will be like, this guy gets a deal, you get a deal, you get a transfer. Like, can someone buy Eddie Nketiah for 35 million, please? Thank you. Anyway, Australians in action around the world. Of course, we've got the Asian Cup going on at the moment, but this morning, Arsenal, they won 6-1 in the Conti Cup against a team in the second division. Caitlin Ford opened the scoring for the second consecutive game, but more importantly, Leah Williamson came back from a knee injury and scored an absolute banger. Oh, it was awesome. But anyway, it was the Conti Cup and they won 6-1, but it was good to see her back. She's one of England's best players and that will help them obviously towards Euros next year, World Cup following 2 years later. So.
Yep.
No, they're going really well. Yeah, well, I was going to say in the women's, I know it's not Australian focused, but Chelsea won in the Champions League this morning against...
They beat Hayley Razzo's Real Madrid.
Yes, I was going to talk about Chelsea.
Segue.
So that's a good segue, actually. Yeah, so Hayley Razzo's Real Madrid. That was a great win. Very
it's like I've done this before. You wouldn't realise I am a professional.
He knows what he's doing over there, actually. Really good win, obviously without Sam Kerr, so they're still winning. They got a 3-0 win on the weekend as well, Chelsea, with Lauren James, who we've talked up through the World Cup.
Did she step on anyone?
She didn't step on anyone. She's been on her
I'm not
best
sure about
behaviour.
her new haircut, though.
No.
It's very... Her hair's getting
very cold, like, because when you're playing in the cold and it could freeze.
She's not bald, Alex.
Yeah, no, but
she's got the opposite.
because there's so much hair, it could get very heavy when it freezes.
Do you reckon it's freezing? Surely not.
Have you seen? Did you see how cold it was in England over the weekend?
Yeah, I don't think about that, to be honest.
I do. I think about all week.
When I have my afro, it doesn't freeze, so it's all good. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Hayley Razzo was involved in the lead up to Real Madrid's goal. She had a shot that was blocked and straight back into the in the way of their striker, and also in that Champions League, Lyon, which is Ellie Carpenter, the clean sheet. They're on top of their group. They're going to go through on top. They've got another match day.
Yep.
But it's one thing that we didn't mention there. Real Madrid and their stacked squad didn't win a game in the Champions League.
Yeah, well.
That's not good.
Maybe a bit over it. Bit of a few really good individuals, but they're not working well as a team. Maybe.
Check like Chelsea in Los Blancos.
Yeah, I was about to say, check how they're going in the Spanish league at the moment because they've got Linda Caicedo as well. She's a
Caicedo, but I think they've sort of like what Chelsea in the
they're second behind
Barcelona.
Third.
Barcelona would be a mile in front.
Levante equal second on points. Real Madrid.
Barcelona have scored something like 20 odd goals in 4 Champions League games so far. They are so far on top of their group.
They've got 59 goals and only conceded 3 in 13 matches
in the league.
59 goals in 13 matches.
We need to watch more Spanish league. That's awesome.
That is actually ridiculous. That's just video game mode.
That is
amateur level.
Yeah. Can we just talk about that instead of talking about the Socceroos, the Asian Cup?
I'm happy with that.
Well, have you seen? Let's go back to Ali Carpenter. Have you seen her like G up on social media?
Yeah,
like, she sings the French song with all the players.
She's their leader, like their spiritual leader. Yeah.
Yeah, bangs a bit of Alex about it. Bangs the table after the song and G's everyone up. But
Alex does that before every podcast. He does that. To GSLR.
Yeah, a couple of smelling salts. Let's go! Podcasts! Yes!
I wish the Socceroos had that energy when they play.
That's a good segue. Well played.
Hold on, I'm just going to take a nap.
It is utter garbage. Graham Arnold ball. It's garbage.
Yeah. Bring back Ange ball.
A 1-1 draw with Uzbekistan. Finished top of the group. We don't know who we're playing yet in the round of 16.
No, not yet.
We'll
find
find out tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jordan Boss started on the wing for some unknown reason. Late substitutions in the 93rd, 94th minute when it's 1-1. I seriously don't know what you're thinking.
I like how Graham Arnold decided to go, it's good to see Uzbekistan with their local league is supporting, pathways and everything. And everyone's like, hold on, we have a bunch of A-League players in this squad. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I think the A-League players aren't even the problem. It's just the way we're setting up, the way we're playing. Like Marcus said, when
we're boring.
We're boring. Yeah. We just can't handle when teams sit back. And even if there's a good team that we come up in the finals in the round of 16 and stuff, they're going to sit back for a little bit because they're like, well, they're not good enough passes to go through. So
I thought Yengi was actually very good up top.
He's really strong. Yeah.
But that wasn't a penalty.
No, we got lucky.
And we got lucky. I don't think it's a penalty.
I agree.
No, it wasn't.
We're very lucky in the end to even probably come away with a point on that. But he got so defensive after we're 1-0 up. He brought on Conor Metcalf, obviously a midfielder for Martin Boyle, who's more a tricky winger who takes people on.
Yeah.
And then we concede 5 minutes later. So you just bring that pressure upon yourself.
Yeah, I hope they prove me wrong a little bit, but doesn't look good for the Socceroos. We did finish top of the group, so at least that's a tick in terms of the actual scoreboard. But I don't see us winning. And
this could be like Portugal, where we draw every game when they won the Euros. We draw every game, win on penalties. It's like, we won a trophy, but we didn't win a game.
Pretty much.
Moral victories. Hello, England.
Oh, England will like
we might have to talk about a moral victory here. Tom Glover played at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, conceded 6. But to be fair, a lot of those, all of them,
XG for Chelsea, which is
all
ridiculous.
of them. We had 6 shots on target as well, 6 goals. And a lot of them weren't his fault.
The defenders were nowhere to be seen on a couple of those goals. Yeah,
like cheap turnovers.
But he actually has been pretty good for Middlesbrough. Obviously, he kept a clean sheet, the Aussie against Chelsea in the first leg, and he's. Yeah, I was surprised because I remember watching him in the A-League. I thought he was good, but I didn't think he was Middlesbrough level good, and he's been all right.
Yeah, we had a good chat with Mauricio Pochettino actually after the game as well for about 5 minutes.
I don't want Chelsea to recruit him, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough because we've got no fantasy chat this week because FA Cup doesn't count towards fantasy. So we're done and dusted this week on the Football Today show. Make sure you check out our social medias at Football Today Pod across TikTok, X, Facebook, Instagram. That's all of them, isn't it, Leo? He's nodding at me. Yeah, that's all of them. Check us out. Leave a comment, like, follow, do all that stuff. Also go to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Type in Football Today. Please leave us a review, 5-star rating, all that good stuff. Subscribe as well. Subscribing is the most important part because this will drop straight into your feed once the legendary producer Geraldo loads it up on the Spotify, social media, whatever else we've got going there. Make sure you check out Cricket Today. Stats Guy and the boys did an awesome live stream last night. They started naming random cricketing icons from the 90s. It was great. I may have started that in the live chat.
Yeah, it was good fun. And lots of Skittles.
But also, check out the show because they're doing a lot of stuff over the upcoming weeks. Australia's got a tour of New Zealand coming up. As well as a lot of good cricket around the world in general. But we have an absolutely massive week of EPL coming up, 2 game weeks. It's going to be awesome. Check it all out. We'll be back on Tuesday here on Football Today.